Hello Year 2 and welcome to today's maths lesson. How did you get on with yesterday's maths lesson? Were you able to write multiplication number sentences for the different pictures? Fantastic, well done if you did. Now today we're going to be looking at using arrays. Now we used arrays last term, but I wonder if you can remember how we made them and what we used them for, okay? Now before I tell you the answer to that, let's warm up our brains. So here's your flashback for today. You have questions 1 to 4. The first question, you need to find out which is the unequal group. So the unequal group isn't going to have the same amount as the other groups, is it? Now, number 2, you have an addition number sentence, 3 plus 3 plus 3, and you need to tell me what the multiplication number sentence is for that addition. And then the other way around, you've got the multiplication number sentence, 2 multiplied by 9, you need to tell me what the addition is. And number 3, Jack has £10 and he spends £7 on that lovely football over there. How much change does Jack get? Now think back to the lessons we did on money last term. When we found the change, did we do addition or did we do subtraction? Then number 4, you've got 5 multiplied by 5. So you need to count up in steps of 5 times. So you have 5 groups of 5 and you need to work out the answer. Now, if you're struggling, there are some pictures of some hands so they can help you, okay? Because there's 5 groups, so 5 hands with 5 fingers on each. Okay, so pause the video now and have a go at your flashback. Okay, should you see if you're right? So which is the unequal group? Well, there are 3 in the first, there are 3 in the second. Now, how many are in the third? Oh, there's 2 in the third, but let's just check the last one before. Yes, there's 3 in the last one. So we have 3 in the first, the second, and the last group. And we have 2 in the third group. So therefore, the third group is unequal because it does not have the same amount of sweets as the other groups do. Then number 2, 3 plus 3 plus 3. Well, remember when we do the multiplication, the first number represents how many groups there are, and the second represents how many in each group. So there are 3 lots of 3. So it'd be 3 multiplied by 3. Now the other way around, remember again, first number represents the amount of groups, second number how many in each group. So we're going to have to add 9 twice, aren't we? Because it's 2 multiplied by 9. So 9 plus 9. Now, number 3, Jack has £10 and he spends £7. How much change does Jack get? Now, when we find the change, we have to subtract the amount of the item, so £7, from the amount that the person has, which is £10. So we need to do 10 subtract 7, which if you know your number bonds to 10, this will really help you because 10 multiplied by 7 gives you £3. So Jack will get £3 change. Now here's the question. If he was given his change all in pounds, what coins could he have received? Have a think. Pause the video. Okay, what did you think? Well, he could have 3 £1 coins, couldn't he? Or he could have 1 £2 coin and 1 £1 coin, which makes 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So well done if you got that right. Number 4, 5 multiplied by 5. Well, let's count together in steps of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the answer is 25. Now, if you wanted to check that, you could count the fingers on the hands, okay? And that would help you check your answer. Brilliant. Well done if you got those right. Let's move on to today's learning. So here we have an array. Now, can you remember with array, we have columns and we have rows, okay? Now, which way round were they though? Can you remember? Yes, that's right. We have rows which go across and we have columns which go down. So how many rows do we have in this array? Well, we have 1. Oh, we have 1, 2. There are 2 rows, okay? And how many in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 apples in each row. So we have 2 rows of 6 or 2 groups of 6. So our number sentence will be 6 plus 6 equals 12. And our multiplication number sentence will be 2 because there are 2 rows multiplied by 6 because there are 6 in each row equals 12. Now, what about the columns? How many columns are there? That's right, there are 6 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many in each column? Yes, there are 2 apples in each column. So we're going to have to add 2 6 times. So it'll be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which equals 12. And then our multiplication, well, there are 6 columns. There are 2 in each, so it'll be 6 multiplied by 2 equals 12. Now remember, multiplication is commutative, so we can change the two numbers around and we still get the same answer. So from this array, we have got 2 multiplied by 6, and because it's commutative, we've also got 6 multiplied by 2, which gives us the same answer, 12. Now, what about this one? I'd like you to pause the video and have a think about the rows. So how many rows are there and how many are in each row? And then work out the addition and the multiplication number sentences for the rows. Okay, pause the video now and have a think. Okay, let's see if you're right. So there are 2 rows. Okay, there are 2 rows of pairs, and there are 4 pairs in each row. So we have got 2 groups or 2 rows of 4. So we are going to have to add 4 twice. 4 plus 4 equals 8. And then because there are 2 rows and there are 4 pairs in each row, it will be 2 multiplied by 4 equals 8. Now, what about the columns? Okay, I'd like to pause the video again and have a think about the columns this time. Okay, let's see if you're correct. So how many columns did you think there were? Okay, let's find out if you were right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 columns and there are 2 pairs in each column. So we're going to have to add 2 4 times. So it's going to be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. And then because there are 4 columns or 4 groups of 2 pairs, we'll do 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. There you go, a commutative law again. So we've got 2 multiplied by 4 and 4 multiplied by 2. Now this one, I would like you to pause the video and think about the columns first and then the rows, both of them together, okay? Have a good think about this and think of the addition and the multiplication number sentences. Okay, let's see if you're right. So let's start with the columns. How many columns are there? Well, there are 2 columns. There are 2 columns of 5 tasty muffins, okay? So we are going to have to add 5 twice, aren't we? So we're going to do 5 plus 5 equals 10. And because there are 2 columns with 5 muffins in each, we need to do 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. Now, what about the columns? Well, we have the rows, sorry. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So we have 5 rows with 2 muffins in each. So we're going to have to add 2 5 times. So it's going to be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 10. Or because we've got 5 rows with 2 in each, we have to do 5 multiplied by 2 equals 10. Fantastic. Well done if you got that right. Now, this one here, can you remember with all the other arrays, we had the same amount in each row and in each column? So this array looks a bit strange, doesn't it? Because it's not the same. It doesn't have the same amount in each row and each column. And the tortoise says you can't make an array because 9 is an odd number. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video now and have a think. Could we rearrange this array to make sure that it is correct? Okay, so if we took some pairs, put them in a new row, so we now have 3 rows of 3 pairs in each. Does this look better? Yes, it does, doesn't it? Because we have 3 pairs in each column and 3 pairs in each row. So that is better. Now, because we have the same amount of rows as we do columns, there is only one addition and one multiplication number sentence for this, okay? Because obviously the numbers are going to be the same, so we can't change them around. So can you pause the video and have a think of what the addition and what the multiplication number sentence will be for this one? Okay, so we have 3 rows and 3 in each, and we have 3 columns and 3 in each. So we will need to do 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. And then again, because we have 3 columns of 3 and 3 rows of 3, it'll be 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. Now, what I'd like you to do now is have a go at the worksheet that I've sent you, questions 1 to 4. Now, the worksheet is called Year 2 Maths, 13th of January, Resource 1. Okay, so pause the video now and have a go at those questions.